We're back with another video. In today's episode, we're going to finish up what we can with the E46 M3. In the previous episode, we did a longer episode where we basically tore down the front end of this car and the front end of my convertible, which is sitting outside, swapped everything over and made this car pretty much OEM and factory. Put it back to how it should be. This car had a carbon vented hood, a replica front bumper, and some unmatched paint panels. In today's episode, we got one more thing to deal with. This door right here definitely isn't the worst. It doesn't really have any real damage, but it looks like they blended in the front and somewhat of the rear, and the rear is super yellow compared to the quarter panel. The front actually matches pretty decently, as you can see. There's no real problems, but my convertible has a perfect door. So I did my research and it looks like the doors are exactly the same. Only thing we'll have to change is the window. So I've never done this before. I've never taken off a door before. So it's gonna be a little bit of a learning process. Hopefully everything goes a-okay and smooth, but I'm gonna go ahead and take off this door, learn a little bit on the door that I'm not keeping, and then we'll go ahead and disassemble further once the doors are back on the car. I already disconnected the harness right here just to be sure how it was done. It looks like we just need to remove the 8mm on this hinge, the bottom hinge, and then take off this E-Torx right here. And then that should be it. It should just pull right off. Hopefully it doesn't need to be lined up too differently. I also, if you guys aren't aware, I need to take the mirrors off of my convertible. These mirrors have seen better days and that glass is pretty destroyed. And the convertible has perfect mirrors on both sides. So we're gonna do this, hopefully make everything work, because mirror is crappy, paint is unmatched, and the module doesn't work, that it doesn't register that the door's even open. So hopefully all three of these items get fixed with a door swap. Should be relatively simple and straightforward, but I guess we're gonna be the ones to find out. Let me get this door off, learn a little bit about it, and then I'll come back to you guys. Some light, just a little coupe with the door missing. So the door, it was extremely easy to actually pull off. Only thing you had to do is disconnect this little actual connector from the door. It's with the rubber boot on the actual door. So if you just unplug that 8mm bolt, or sorry, if you unscrew the 8mm bolt, this will just literally pull out. Just pull this up to unplug it. Same thing with the hinges. There's gonna be two 10mm, so there's gonna be one from the bottom and one from the top. If you just undo the 10mm bolts, that's all you get. And then there's an E10 Torx that sits right here on the hinge. Take out 4 bolts and the door just comes up. It is very heavy, so before you take it off, what I did was one hand on this handle, one hand on the other, but the door is very heavy, so make sure you have somewhere safe to put it. I'm using these retired seats. Luckily I didn't throw them away yet, because it is perfect storage for my lovely cinnamon door panel on my disgusting door. So now I got the coupe outside, which I'm dreading, because now I gotta go do this outside. And then I'm gonna have 2 cars with no doors on them. So after this, I'm gonna have to take off, of course, the door panel. I have to take off the glass, and I have to take off the locking mechanism inside the actual door. All learning experiences. Never taken off a door before, never taken out glass before. Removed the mechanism, the locking mechanism in my F80 to switch the door actuator. So I'm assuming it's probably just gonna be one Allen bolt and probably the same thing. So that should be simple, but we're gonna hope that everything lines up. It's supposed to be compatible with early model coupes and verts, and then it's not compatible if you have an older model. So these are 2003 and 2002, which I think 2003 is the start of the facelift. So hopefully everything lines up and plugs in. Typical fashion, this would not be an episode on this channel without something going wrong or being exactly what you unexpected. So the entire harness had to come out just because of the crappy aftermarket wiring and the speakers. So it's not a plug and play, it's not OEM. Both cars have aftermarket sound systems, and I'm not a real wiring guy. I'm gonna have to put the doors back in the cars, I believe, to get the glass out. I think you have to lower it the tiniest bit to actually get full access to these bolts. This vapor barrier is absolutely destroyed. That's blocks of wood where my speaker was held into. That's what kept it from moving. Nice. Wiring harness was really easy to get out. Only thing you had to move was the module for the side mirror, which goes right here, 2 bolts. You had to remove the airbag. So I'm gonna keep the airbags actually with the car. So I got mine right here. I'm gonna put it back in my car because it was already in it. Other than that, just the cable for the actual door handle, and that's pretty much it. The only thing you had to unplug was the actuator for the lock. I gotta see how to remove the handles. I'm sure it's gonna be under here. Yeah, it should be under here. It should just be one, hopefully, bolt. So now, the problem is now I gotta go do this all again. I really didn't want to leave a car outside with no door on it, and there's not that much space in the garage. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to do this again. And both these cars are gonna be without a door for a cool minute. So luckily, I decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna take the door panel off right now, just because. So it was a good call. I learned that it's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get the other door off, disassemble it, and start putting these things back together. Hopefully I can put it back as good as possible. Hopefully I can fix a little bit of the messiness and get these back to how they should be and back on the car. Man, I know my neighbors hate me. I need to move out to the middle of nowhere. They are probably not happy with this, but we got the door off. Again, super simple now. We're gonna go ahead and disassemble what we can. Hopefully piece together this door panel real quick so I can throw it on that car instead of leaving that out in the street like that. But let's go ahead and start disassembling. We got the door back onto the coupe. I did it a little bit differently. I kind of realized I kind of messed it up for myself. So in order to take the glass out, you're gonna have to remove the door panel, the airbag, module for the actual side mirrors. You're gonna have to remove all that stuff anyway. And I kind of rushed it and I was like, oh, let me put it all back together. It'll be easier to run the harness through the door. Well, it's out. Yes, that is true. But unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to take all this back out. And now I'm thinking, dang, I should have just left it off, but it's too late now. So now I got to halfway put this together so I could put it back on the car, close it, be able to close it. I'm gonna get mine situated, all wired up. I'll get the locking mechanisms changed, and then we'll go ahead and worry about the window. But I kind of messed it up because now I got to put this back on the car, but it is what it is. I'd rather have it somewhat halfway together so I could at least close it and not have the door off the car. I don't want the neighbors getting mad. So let's try to put this back on the car. It was a little hard to line it up being by myself just because you can't really see, and it has to go up high above. Try not to hit the fender, try not to hit anything. So let's go ahead and put the door on the vert now, and then we can come back and start assessing more of the actual coupe. Both doors are back on. Still got to disassemble that door panel, but you could definitely see orange peel and some runs in that paint. So just like I thought, you just have to pop this one out with the one plastic clip, and it is just a little Allen bolt. Not sure what size, we're about to figure it out, but it should just be one bolt that'll slide out. Switch those out, and then we will have good locks once again. This is why it pays off to be a hoarder. Looking at the actual the lock cylinder housings, this is the one that came from this door, and it looks great condition. Has a couple little scratch marks, but nothing too major. This one is the one that came off of the door from the coupe, and you can see it has disgusting runs. Looks like it was missed in the painting, all this scratched up. Terrible. I did not want to use that, and I didn't really know how to disconnect it. So luckily, I had a spare one that's literally Alpine white as well. And would you look at that? I had something I didn't mind if I accidentally broke, and it's just 2 tabs and a third little clip right there, and it pops right off. So I was able to practice, did it on spare one, the junky one, then the good one, and it came off perfectly. So now I can throw this on my original lock cylinder, which of course was not even masked off. The bolt was painted, and this is painted, so nice. At least we'll fix it, and it'll match the door and it'll match the car. So now we can throw this back in and resume the process. Once again, another learning experience. So the glass is swapped. Made one little mistake, but it's not gonna be on my car, it's gonna be on the car we're selling. So the weather stripping is quite temperamental. If I was doing this again, I would definitely either have a brand new one ready to go, or I would just take this all the way out just to make it 10 times easier. I went ahead and removed the one off of off of my old car. Man, I don't even know what to say. This is the weather stripping off of the other door. I kind of messed up this one a little bit. I bent this little piece right here, taking the window out, and then try to push it down a little bit. And it's a little bit, but I think I can save it, especially outside of the car. I can just flatten this out, put it back in. It's good as new. These are metal, so it's easy to bend them, but it's also easy to bend them back. Now we got to swap the glass in that car. Figured out how to do it now and learned, so should be okay. Had a little bit of difficulty lining these up, but again, another little learning experience. Just had to turn the key. The Vert's tumbler is pretty broken, so I'm probably gonna have to buy the rebuild kit before selling it, or I'm just gonna have to disclaim that it doesn't really work. Next hassle is now this door came off of the Vert and it didn't have the same sound system. This car has surprisingly a way better sound system. Still janky, it needs to be worked on, but this was literally drilled into the door and put through with like wood screws. I did not realize that until now. So now I either have to figure out another way to mount this to the car, or I'm gonna have to drill into the door, which I really don't want to do. But this has like some weird wood and a bunch of foam around it. I'm gonna see if I could possibly fit this into the door and make something else work. Same thing, this needs to be mounted way better, because what is this? We are back, and the door swap is fully complete. I literally started this at like 8:30 probably. It's like 2 o'clock now. We had to figure some things out. Some things weren't as expected. Of course, this car is not fully OEM, so it was a little more intriguing than what I would have expected. But we got the door on that car fully, everything put back together, everything put back together over here. The only thing that kind of threw me off was aftermarket speaker and the wiring. So we had to do the full entire harness swap. And this was the speaker box that was made customly and drilled into the door. I literally had to break it to get out of it. Instead of disconnecting the wiring, I just broke it. Obviously, I did not want to reuse that or drill into my door. So in the future, I'm gonna have to figure out something else to get that properly mounted, or make some custom brackets. Luckily, in the spare parts collection, I had some OEM speakers from just a 325, probably the same speakers as the M3, but I was able to take away this padding, and it sucks because I had to destroy it, but I basically just cut around the circle and made a fake plastic bracket that just went over the speaker and then bolted it down, so it's holding as firm as it was before. I just really didn't want to drill into the door. So everything's functioning now. We got everything back in. This module actually works now. So for some reason, when it was in my car before, this glass wouldn't lower when you open the door. I don't know what module it is, because there's only the mirror module and then the airbag. So I don't think there's anything else. It might be that actual side mirror. That might be the module. But other than that, I'm not really too sure. So everything's back in now. Door panel is nice and fit. Actually fits now. I don't think before it fit all the way, but now actually is in there and fit. My glass swapped over nicely. Only thing is this trim is a little bit raised up right here. Kind of bothers me. So I might buy a new set if they're not too stupid expensive. Interior wise, we definitely got some more work to do. I need to get rid of the steering wheel. I'll swap in another OEM one I have. We'll swap the airbag with the Vert. The other one is OEM and nice. This one has a stupid, ugly badge. So we'll swap those out, make it a little bit nicer. As far as these pedal goes, the OEM Vert one has just a normal kick plate. This one is pretty gross. So we'll swap this one with the OEM one from the Vert. I need to get stock pedals. I like the dine-in ones, but probably just gonna go stock right now. Feel a little bit better on the foot. As far as the rest of the interior goes, still got to take that mirror. I'm going to swap in this mirror from the other one. This, I don't know why, but there's little piece of like carbon vinyl, carbon sticker. I don't know, but we definitely need to source some other pieces to get this actually fully working. Now, when you open the door, the actual lights come on. The center one still doesn't. Could be just that light is broken. We definitely got our work cut out for us. I need to get an OEM console because this one is pretty destroyed. Hopefully, I can get some type of delete, something to make it look nicer. Get the rest of this interior looking nice. It needs to be detailed. It's literally been sitting here for a while, but it's nice to actually have the door close and open properly now. There was a full circle moment that we're going to get into right now. Those of you that actually remember back in the day, I had a carbon black E46 M3 that had all the dining parts on it. The paint was absolutely destroyed, and we did a full impulse cloth interior swap. Interior looked sick. The car was super fun, had a bunch of issues, but it was so cheap, and I got it, and it was literally like probably one of the happiest moments I've been buying a car and actually enjoying a car. So I sold that car regrettably, and somebody had listed 2 shells on Facebook Marketplace saying they had E46 M3 parts. So I hit him up asking him if he had any spares, any extras, blah, blah, blah. So he ended up sending me the location to a shop. I pulled up yesterday and I walk in and he goes, wait a minute. He goes, I know you. I was like, what? I didn't recognize him, but he recognized me. He's like, I bought your car. He's like, that's the one I'm parting out. And I'm like, what the hell? So he pulls me into a shop. It's a big ass professional shop that's actually super nice. And he's got 3 E46 M3s in there. And one's an actual full blown race car. Everything's sick. And there's my car just sitting right there looking as neglected, even more neglected as when I left it. I bought this steering wheel out of my old car. It's actually in pretty decent condition. It's pretty thick. Came with the steering wheel airbag and actual came with all the trim and buttons. Has a little bit of marking right here, but this steering wheel is actually in pretty good shape. The car had like 215,000 miles and definitely sat for the longest, but the interior actually was in pretty good condition. It seems to be peeling a little bit right here, but it's better than the other steering wheels I had. I actually bought another one too the other day. This one, same thing, came with airbag, all the steering wheel trim. This one's in worse condition and it's missing the stitching right here. But I've been wanting to kind of play with trying to revive these, re-dye them, see if I can figure out how to way to get this back to life. But now we got a little steering wheel collection. I got another one that's right here out of my old E39 M5. Same thing, has some wear and some marking, but the stitching is in really good condition on this one. So hopefully I could fix this, re-dye it, put some, I don't know what you call it, the leather bonding, whatever, the fake leather, put it on, sand it down, re-dye it. Hopefully it'll look good. But now I have 3 extra E46 E39 M5 M-Tech wheels with the steering wheel controls and the airbags. So got a little bit of collection going. But anyways, I bought this steering wheel out of the old car. I got this actual shifter. This was in my car as well, and it is actually a Dynan one. It came out of the Dynan M3 that I had. So it's crazy. I'm literally buying parts out of my old car. I miss it. I wish I never sold it. But we had the Dyna shifter out of it. We got the steering wheel. This is the shift boot that it came in, or my car came with. It's pretty destroyed, but he threw it in for free. Same thing with the ZHP knob. It's pretty destroyed, but he threw it in for free. And then he had this one, which is actually nice, Alcantara one with the ring, everything. And it's like 30 bucks. So it has a couple little stitching issues, but I was like 280 bucks for all this, for the Dyna short shifter, all this, steering wheel, both of those. So now we got some spare parts for this car. We can keep going with the upgrades and making this car feel as it should. This is a lot of work just to put this car back to basically stock and how it should have been when I bought it. Got to swap in the exhaust. Got my tires right there. Got the wheels right there. We're moving. It's slow, but I'm going to strip apart the rest of this car in this coming weekend and hopefully swap over everything I need, and then this car will be for sale. So I need to get stock wheels. I just sold the TEs yesterday, which was kind of a salty moment. I didn't want to sell them, and I was hoping nobody would buy them. I just left the ad up just for kind of giggles, and somebody bought them. So now I need TEs, but I bought those so cheap, man. I wish I never sold them. God damn, I'm a hoarder, and I got a problem selling stuff. Now I gotta buy new TEs. But other than that, I'm about done for today. It's been about half a day of work, and I'm pretty tired. I gotta go to work tomorrow. So we're probably gonna leave it off here. I appreciate everybody who's watching. Last episode was a big one, getting most of the work done. Now we're just gonna put out probably 2 or 3 more episodes of getting this car dialed in and where it should be. A little bit more work, a little bit more tedious, and we will get this car where it should be. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back in a few days with some more episodes. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know how you think the E46 M3 is coming along. It's looking so much better. It's looking like a real car now. So let me know your thoughts down below, and we'll get back to you guys ASAP. Later, guys.